Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Jake from today's iPhone.com. My light bulb exploded, so now the lighting's all weird. I took 2 finals today and got that many hours of sleep last night. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so to start off with some application news, Facebook updated its dedicated messages application to include a couple pretty cool features. First, they added the ability to swipe to delete, which is a much requested feature, and a pretty standard one. I'm surprised it wasn't already in the application. Facebook also added stickers, which is kind of like emojis on steroids, so if you're into that sort of thing, it's pretty cool. The update is available for free now in the App Store. Okay, moving on in iPhone 6 concept news. Arthur Rice released a concept for the next generation iPhone and it looks absolutely incredible. It doesn't have any of those crazy holographic features or translucent screens or anything like that. It's probably one of the most realistic iPhone 6 concepts I've seen, and I mean that both in that it looks real and that it's something that, you know, I would not be surprised to see Apple actually release. It's 20% thinner than the iPhone 5, it's got a 12 megapixel camera, a slightly bigger screen, and instead of the home button at the bottom, the entire bottom panel under the display is clickable, so you can touch anywhere and go home, which is pretty cool. It definitely takes design cues from the iPhone 5, but it still has a sleek, refreshed new look. There's a video and a Flickr gallery to scroll through, so if you're interested in that, you can check it out in the links in the description down below. Okay, and finally, Apple's former advertisement chief, Ken Segal, went on record saying some pretty interesting things about the future of the iPhone line. Basically, Segal thinks that Apple will release a whole host of iPhones, like an iPhone family, very similar to the way that Apple released many different versions of the iPod a couple years ago. He says given the history and the growing demand for variations on the classic iPhone theme, plus the positive reaction customers are showing to Samsung and HTC devices with bigger screens, Apple will release a whole host of iPhones in 2013 to accommodate everybody who wants an iPhone Nano and an iPhone Classic and an iPhone Plus. He does concede that there won't be a quote-unquote cheap iPhone, but that a budget iPhone with a lower resolution screen, plastic body, and slower processor is possible. I mean, that sounds like a cheap iPhone to me, but I guess the term would be cheaper, because even though it's not as high quality as the other iPhones, Apple will definitely still charge a fair amount for it. Okay, now to be honest, the thing that surprised me most about this article and this story was that it was coming from somebody who used to work at Apple. Now, I'm not saying I have more insight into the company or anything than this guy, and in fact, I definitely don't, but I really don't see this happening. He says that the iPhone is going to come in a bunch more colors to accommodate people who want the device to be more personal again. I can't see that happening ever. I think the iPhone is definitely concretely always going to be black and white, and that's it. Apple resisted the trends of the rest of the smartphone market for 5 years before they upped the screen size of the iPhone. I don't think they're going to change that ideology so drastically in a year. Basically, I don't believe anything this guy said. That being said, I also didn't think that Apple would ever release an iPad mini, and I was very wrong about that. So we'll see what happens, but if you're excited about this, definitely take it with a grain of salt. Okay, well that's all the biggest news for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Your question of the day today is, what member of the iPhone family would you most want to buy if Apple released a whole host of them? You know, all of the talk recently is about a bigger iPhone, which is absurd because Apple just released a bigger iPhone. But people still want bigger, but you know, maybe some people want an iPhone Nano, or an iPhone Mini, or an iPhone Shuffle. So if you had your choice of iPhone size, what would you choose? I'd probably stick with the classic 4-inch iPhone 5 screen, but that's just me. You can let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below or on Twitter at @TIP_Jake. The links to everything I talked about are in the description down below. You can follow me on Twitter at @TIP_Jake. I already said that. I'm very tired. Please don't forget, check out today's iPhone.com. I'm gonna go sleep for 4 days.